Hello, Jaime from Inky and Scrappy, sharing with you today a 2-for-1 Totally Awesome Wiggly Eyes and Wobbly Critters bonus card to my Totally Awesome stamp set series. It's a twofer, plus some bonus footage at the end of my new studio sign. If you are interested, stay tuned till after the credits and you will see some bonus footage today. I started by die cutting everything out. I had colored the images on vacation, beginning of mid-July we went. So everything was already pre-colored, ready to go. I just had to die cut everything out, and I decided to keep these fairly simple, a smaller scene card. I needed some thank yous to get out in the mail right away. Yes, they're still sitting here. I suck at mailing anything. It's how I roll. So I just set up these as fairly simple scenes. I had picked some background papers to start with, and then the circle for my focal scene and or images. And so I'm just building from there. They pretty much match. I cut one, so this circle is a 4-inch circle, and I cut 3. So 2 from white cardstock and then 1 from that light blue cardstock. And then that light blue cardstock, I took 2 scene dies for hills and just cut one on the top and one on the bottom to give me the pond area of my scene. And so that way I could get 2 cards in, one pass. These actually came together super fast. I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to do the Wiggly Eyes. I had discussed it in one of my last videos when I was doing the Totally Awesome that I totally forgot to do the Wiggly Eyes. It was one of the reasons I bought the set because those eyes needed to wiggle, right? And so this one just kind of came together fairly fast. And then, of course, because I was doing Wiggly Eyes, Action Wobblers, it's a fairly simple scene, so throwing an Action Wobbler on the little frog and or toad, whatever you want to call it, was, it was just meant to be. It went super fast. So, funny story, I was watering the plants the other day, and as I'm filling up my watering can, there's this big old toad in the watering can. He swims up there. Last year, I had a frog in my watering can, and I didn't know it until I was watering my plants, and all of a sudden, this little frog leg comes out of the water spigot hole because the end was broke off, so it was just like pouring out. And yes, so I had to rescue the little frog last year, and this year I had to rescue the big toad. I'm sure it'll happen again. So I had planned on doing 2 full A2 size cards, and that's what you are seeing here. I did do, these are thinner paper. This was some old close to my heart paper before they went to, I want to say their cardstock is probably a 65-pound weight cardstock with their pattern papers. So this one was like heavy copier paper thickness. So I did do, instead of doing the glue, I did use my double-sided score tape, and then doing that trick with only doing a little portion on each opposite corner is showing, so that way I can get it on there right where I need to, because once this paper's on, you can't remove it because it is thin. It will just rip. It's not the same as cardstock, if that makes sense. And so when I was doing this one, I decided I kind of liked the square look, and I wanted to keep them simple and similar but not the same. And so when I decided this one was placed right to do my sentiment on the actual card, like the image panel, I was like, I'm just going to cut off that extra. So that finished card there is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. It will fit fine in an A2 sized envelope. And then for my larger one that is actually an A2 sized, I decided to do the sentiment a little bit bigger, popping out that one word again. And so I'm just creating some custom blended cardstock here to make my letters pop. And so, of course, it's going to say froggin' because that's an awesome phrase. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment on my finished card front here. I always hope for the best. If it doesn't turn out, I can always stamp the sentiment and cut it and then just adhere skinny sentiment strips over the top. So, you know, if it's something that you struggle with or you're afraid of doing, always know that there's a little fix to, you know, if you mess it up, you can adjust. And of course, no card is complete without a little bit of bling. Okay, I do cards without bling, but I've been on a bling push lately, I guess, or glittering everything. So I added some distressed stickles. I'm pretty sure this one was diamond stickles onto those little fly wings and the lily pad, and then the little dots on the back of my toad there. And then for my sentiment on this one, I actually had lined it up off screen, so I cut out footage because, yeah, you really didn't see a whole lot. For my apostrophe up on, is that an apostrophe? Yeah. Yeah, the apostrophe up on top by my end there, I just cut out a second F and then just hand cut one to look. It kind of matches the style that way, and you know, it's not like it was a totally hard one to cut out. And I decided that my sentiment here was blended in too well with the bottom of the froggin, and I wanted it to stand out a little bit. So I'm just going in with my darkest and my medium, and then I'm going to take my lightest and just blend it back out so it kind of has a darker line on the top, and then it blends out into what the rest of the sentiment was anyways. So that's what you missed on camera because I wasn't paying attention to camera footage space, you know, as I do. And I will save that piece of tape for a future project. And then I'm just going to put the your froggin' awesome. And then the inside will have a thank you sentiment. That is why they are still sitting here, because I did not do the sentiment on the inside before I put the card front on. And then, yeah, you know, it takes me a while to get the sentiment on the inside if I don't do it right away. Hence why they're still sitting on my desk waiting to get sent out. It's on my list of things to do today. And so coming in with a couple of more flies, I did pull some butterfly stamps that were already colored and cut in my already done stamped and cut out image little boxes. It's what happens when I do a whole bunch of images, and sometimes I don't use them all. I throw them in a huge Lawn Fawn pre-done critter box, and I can just pull from it. I shouldn't say critter because it's got other stuff in there too, but they all go together with Lawn Fawn stuff, so those are easy to pull out and pop on when I need just a little something something to finish a card. There are the two cards completed, so I love them both. They both turned out really cute. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you are yet to subscribe on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for some studio sign footage at the end. My son actually cut this out in his junior year of high school in woodshop and did the laser cuts on the letters for it. So I had to sand it all down, reattach the brush, and then figure out how to do resin pours in each of those ink/paint wells. So once I figured all of that out, I could finally finish it. And so it is done. It's not perfect, but it's awesome all in the same. It is huge. It is 3 by 3 feet, and those letters are glorious. I absolutely love them. So they speak to my steampunked heart. I attached those with some distressed collage medium, and there is the finished sign. I hope you enjoyed. If you follow me on Insta, you already saw some stills of it. Have a